On January 1st, 1999, Europe did something no major civilization had ever attempted at this scale. Not through conquest, not through collapse, but through agreement. 11 sovereign nations voluntarily surrendered control of their national currencies in peacetime. This was not just a financial decision, it was a civilizational experiment. The French franc, the German mark, the Italian lira, the Spanish peseta. They didn't disappear overnight. But from that moment forward, they could no longer respond independently to crisis. What replaced them was not simply a new currency. It was a new economic architecture, built on a single assumption: that stability would last. This documentary is not about whether the euro was good or bad. It is about what happens when diverse societies share a system that removes their ability to adapt. To understand that, we must go back, long before 1999. What money really is. Before we can understand what Europe gave up in 1999, we have to understand what money actually is. Not what we use it for, not what it looks like, but what it does. Most people think of money as a medium of exchange, a way to buy food, pay rent, settle debts. That is true, but incomplete. For a sovereign nation, money is something far more powerful. Money is a shock absorber. It is a tool that allows a society to bend without breaking when reality changes. Because reality always changes. Economies grow and shrink. Industries rise and fall. Wars happen. Pandemics arrive. Technologies replace jobs. No economy stays perfectly competitive forever. And when a country falls behind, when its goods become too expensive or its debts grow too large, money is the mechanism that absorbs the impact. This is why every major civilization that survived long-term maintained control over its currency, not to enrich itself recklessly, but to adapt. Money as a safety valve. Imagine a country whose workers earn high wages, but whose factories are no longer efficient. Its products become expensive. Exports fall. Unemployment rises. If that country controls its currency, it has options. It can allow its currency to fall in value. This is not magic, it is arithmetic. A weaker currency makes exports cheaper to foreigners. Tourism increases. Factories regain orders, jobs return. Living standards may fall temporarily, but the system survives. This is the safety valve. It is not elegant, it is not moral, but it works. Countries have used this mechanism for centuries. And when they lose it, history shows the consequences are severe. The gold standard lesson. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many countries tied their currencies to gold. This was meant to create stability and trust, but it came at a cost. When economies slowed, governments could not adjust their money supply. They could not respond. During the Great Depression, countries locked into gold were forced to slash wages, cut spending, and endure mass unemployment. Those that abandoned gold recovered faster. Those that stayed trapped inside it suffered longer. This lesson was learned painfully, and then, over time, forgotten. The United States learns the same lesson. In 1971, the United States faced a similar constraint. Its dollar was tied to gold through international agreements. As deficits grew and global pressures mounted, the system became unsustainable. Rather than allow economic collapse, the US severed the link. The decision was controversial, but it restored flexibility. From that moment on, the dollar could adjust to shocks again. This was not ideology. It was survival. Sovereignty is the ability to respond. Monetary sovereignty is not about pride, It is about response time. When a crisis hits, a government must act quickly. It must support banks, pay soldiers, keep hospitals running, and prevent panic. Without control over money, every decision requires permission from lenders, from markets, from institutions outside the country, and permission is never guaranteed. A shared currency changes the rules. Now imagine multiple countries sharing a single currency. Different cultures, different productivity levels, different tax systems, different politics, but one interest rate, one central bank, one rule book. This can work, but only under one condition. There must also be a shared government, a central authority that collects taxes, redistributes resources, and absorbs regional pain. That is how large currency areas survive. Without that political union, a shared currency becomes rigid. And rigidity is dangerous, because when the shock arrives, some regions will need relief, while others will not. And if adjustment is impossible, the pressure has to go somewhere. It goes into wages, into jobs, into living standards. It goes into people. The trade-off Europe accepted. By the late 20th century, Europe understood all of this. The economists knew it. The policymakers debated it. A single currency without a single state was not uncharted territory. History had warned against it repeatedly. But Europe believed the benefits outweighed the risks. They believed convergence would come naturally, that productivity gaps would close, that discipline would replace adjustment. Most importantly, they believed crises were unlikely. That assumption would define everything that followed, the question that matters. So when Europe adopted the euro, the real question was not, will this bring prosperity? The real question was, what happens when prosperity ends? Because every system looks stable until it is tested. And Europe was about to test one of the boldest monetary experiments in modern history. In the next chapter, we'll see why this experiment didn't begin in 1999. But decades earlier, in Europe's long search for unity after war,